Why we love the way we do. 3 million years of attraction. Have you ever wondered why relationships can feel so complicated? Why two people can love each other deeply and still argue about the same things over and over again? Why jealousy appears even when trust exists? Why some people chase attention while others seek security? Most of us believe the answers lie somewhere in our childhood, our personality, or our communication skills. And sometimes they do. But there is another explanation. One that began long before civilization. Long before language. Long before history itself. Because hidden beneath every modern relationship is a program that has been running for nearly 3 million years. And whether we realize it or not, that ancient program is still shaping who we fall in love with, what attracts us, and why relationships often hurt. To understand love, we have to start before humans were even human. 3 million years ago, our ancestors walked across the African savanna. Life was brutally simple. Every day was a struggle for food, shelter, and survival. There were no dating apps, no weddings, no romantic movies, no concept of soulmates. And yet, even then, one decision mattered more than almost any other: choosing a partner. Not because they wanted happiness, but because choosing the wrong partner could mean extinction. Every attraction, every preference, every emotional reaction that increased the chances of survival had an advantage. And over millions of years, those advantages became part of us. Evolution was quietly writing the code of human relationships, a code we still carry today. In 1972, evolutionary biologist Robert Trivers introduced a theory that changed the way scientists think about attraction. He called it parental investment theory. The idea was simple. The sex that invests more in offspring becomes more selective when choosing a mate. For early human females, raising a child required years of commitment: pregnancy, protection, feeding, survival. The biological cost was enormous. For males, the minimum biological investment was dramatically lower. And that difference shaped mating strategies across countless generations. This is why, throughout much of the animal kingdom, females tend to be more selective, and males tend to compete. Think about a peacock. Its enormous tail makes survival harder. It attracts predators. It wastes energy. Yet females prefer it. Why? Because the tail acts as proof, a signal that says, "I am so healthy that I can survive despite carrying this burden." Humans have our own versions of peacock tails. We simply don't notice them anymore. Status, confidence, physical appearance, humor, achievement. These traits often function as signals, and our brains evolved to recognize them. Thousands of years passed. Civilizations emerged. Languages developed. Religions appeared. But something fascinating happened. Human preferences remained surprisingly consistent. Psychologist David Buss conducted one of the largest studies in the history of evolutionary psychology. He surveyed more than 10,000 people across 37 cultures on 6 continents. Different countries, different religions, different traditions. And yet the patterns were remarkably similar. On average, men placed greater importance on youth and physical attractiveness. Women placed greater importance on ambition, resources, and social status. Some people hear these findings and immediately assume they are about stereotypes. But the deeper question is why these patterns appear again and again across cultures. From an evolutionary perspective, youth often signaled reproductive health. Resources often signaled security and survival. The brain wasn't looking for fairness. It was looking for success at passing genes into the future. And then researchers performed an experiment that revealed just how differently men and women often respond to risk. An attractive man approached women he had never met before. He introduced himself and asked a simple question. "Would you like to go on a date with me?" More than half agreed. Then he asked, "Would you come back to my apartment?" Only a small percentage agreed. Finally, "Would you have sex with me tonight?" Almost nobody accepted. Researchers repeated the experiment with an attractive woman approaching men. The results were dramatically different. The majority agreed to the apartment invitation, and an even larger percentage agreed to casual sex. These numbers don't mean one sex is better than the other. They reveal something deeper. Evolution created different risk calculations, different survival strategies, different instincts, and even in the modern world. Those instincts still whisper in the background. But attraction alone doesn't explain love. Because love feels different. Love feels magical. It feels irrational. It feels bigger than biology. Or does it? Anthropologist and neuroscientist Helen Fisher wanted to understand what happens inside the brain when people fall in love. So she placed deeply in love individuals into MRI scanners. She showed them photographs of their romantic partners, then photographs of strangers. The difference was astonishing. When participants looked at someone they loved, a powerful reward center deep inside the brain became highly active. The same system associated with motivation, craving, and addiction. Dopamine flooded the brain. Attention narrowed. Obsessive thinking increased. Suddenly, falling in love looked less like magic and more like a biological state designed to focus all attention on a single person. Love wasn't replacing evolution. Love was part of evolution. Nature's way of keeping two people connected long enough to cooperate. Long enough to raise children. Long enough to survive. But here's the twist. For most of human history, people didn't marry for love. That idea is surprisingly new. For thousands of years, marriage was primarily an economic arrangement, a political alliance, a family contract, a survival strategy. Parents negotiated, families benefited. Love was often optional. The belief that romantic love should be the foundation of marriage became widespread only within the last few centuries. And this created one of the strangest situations in human history. Modern humans expect one person to satisfy needs that were once distributed across entire communities. Best friend, romantic partner, co-parent, confidant, financial ally, emotional support system, life companion, all in one. And we expect this relationship to remain stable for decades. No wonder relationships feel difficult. We are asking ancient brains to solve modern problems. Problems evolution never prepared us for. When you feel jealous, you're experiencing a system that once protected valuable relationships. When you fear rejection, you're activating mechanisms that helped our ancestors stay connected to their groups. When you crave both intimacy and independence, you're feeling two evolutionary forces pulling in opposite directions. None of this means you're broken. It means you're human. Perhaps the most remarkable thing about our generation is that we are the first humans in history trying to consciously understand these forces. We're no longer choosing partners simply to survive. We're choosing them because we want meaning, connection, fulfillment, happiness. And there is no ancient blueprint for that. We're writing the rules as we go. So the next time your partner does something you don't understand, pause for a moment. Remember that behind both of you stand millions of years of instincts, fears, desires, and survival strategies. Maybe the problem isn't that you're incompatible. Maybe you're attempting something no generation before you has ever truly mastered. Learning how to build lasting happiness with a brain that evolved only to survive. And perhaps that is the greatest relationship challenge humanity has ever faced. If you recognized yourself in any of these patterns, let me know in the comments. Which part surprised you the most?